Sir, why do you hate me?
Sweetheart, you mind if I talk with your boyfriend alone for a minute? Sure, Dad. Chai?
No, no, thank you.
So, what's on your mind, Daniel?
Look, Mr. Khan, I've really enjoyed getting to know your family recently. Melvin's a great guy, and I knew that when I first met him. And it was through meeting him I was even lucky enough to meet Faja. Nadia and everyone have been, I mean, Mrs. Khan, uh, and everyone have been so welcoming since she and I started dating. Except for you. You've been so gracious on numerous occasions to let me into your home, yet I can't help but feel that every time I say or do something, it bothers you to some extent. Correct me if I'm wrong, or tell me if I'm right. Then just tell me why.
You're right.
Uh, I'm right. Why is that?
You're so curious to ask prickly questions, Daniel. Yet, I don't know if you can handle the disappointment of prickly answers.
I can assure you, I can.
You're sure?
Yeah, Faj is very important to me. So
You're not
this,
good enough for her.
I suspected that, but
Daniel.
why?
Faja is a beautiful girl who my wife and I were blessed to be given. That's all we've been able to think from the moment she appeared 22 years ago until now. Born with incredible optimism, instinctual curiosity, and earnestness to do anything she puts her mind to, and do it well.
I mean, yeah, sometimes she's so hard to believe, but that's why I love her.
If that's how a proud parent and doting boyfriend should describe an amazing young woman, before I give you my comparison, how would you appraise yourself?
Well, I mean, I went to Harvard. Uh, I come from a very respectable family. I own my own company.
But what are the qualities that make who you are, though?
I mean, I'm smart, polite, and enterprising.
You're not dumb, not a slob, and quick to tell others you're better than they are.
That's a little uncharitable, don't you think?
What is it you want to do with your life?
Well, I want to revolutionize commerce using artificial intelligence.
Yes, as you say a lot, eagerly to anyone who asks. To revolutionize the way we buy things. That's the gist, right?
That's one way to put it. Yeah, sure.
And what do you know about the creation of technology?
Well, it's essential to the progress of the world.
Yes, I agree with that. So do Melvin and Fajia. So does my grandniece who plays with blocks and a tablet all day and just said her first words. Are you an engineer?
No, I majored in philosophy.
Ah, who's your favorite philosopher?
Um, that's it's tough to say. I mean, um, I like a few.
I see. That's pretty philosophical. I imagine Fozzie's getting a little concerned, and we should get back to brunch. So here's what I'm getting at, Daniel. I don't care if you're an engineer or a philosopher. Everyone has their own field of specialty, or area of passion, the thing that gets them awake and hungry in the morning. It makes them feel exhausted and fulfilled at night, so they can go to sleep and wake up a bit more smarter, stronger, better the next day. If not, as in the case of a lot of young people, they roam and explore and run their head into a few walls until they find that thing. But you don't. You grew up in Manhattan high-rise with a nanny who was paid for more than my wife was as a fully trained dental surgeon entering this country. You went to expensive private schools, vacationed at your family's houses in the Hamptons of Malibu, and perhaps you were accepted to Harvard because both of your parents went there, where they met before starting their own life and successful careers together. For everything I've seen and heard, you didn't really study, didn't really work, and didn't really use your money to at least travel and learn a bit more about the world. You sat there. These days you sit in a trendy office full of young startup people, sending emails and making calls to investors to take a chance on the idea that you have, that you want to build, that I hear you've been hiring and firing a dozen partners for because, despite having infinitely more expertise with software engineering than your zero expertise, they don't meet your expectations of a perfect CTO. And you're unwilling to take a first step by faith, by sharing any ownership of your non-existent company with them, or perhaps by making the effort to teach and learn from each other. You act like a suited and wheeling dealing maverick. You're the most risk-averse person I know. You've had everything handed to you your whole life because of obituary circumstances you were born into.
You don't know a damn thing about
John Rawls, professor at Harvard and perhaps the most celebrated moral philosopher of the 20th century, called them accidents of birth. The fact that you are Daniel instead of an Ethiopian girl born in a slum with HIV vertically transmitted from her mother is pure hapstance, an accident of birth, completely oblivious and taking it all for granted. You are the ultimate spectator in life. You won't move to apply yourself and do anything despite having everything already, and being able to shoulder immense risk to create something real that helps everyone else around you. Instead of just talking about it and taking gifts from today's American artistocracy to find a philosopher cypherable entertaining. I'll say it again. You are a spectator, a jester. I tolerate you because Fozzie thinks you're cute. But I only like people who I feel are an active, positive influence on my daughter's growth as a person. If you want to be happy that she's spending so much time with you, you better choose something you enjoy and start working your ass off at it.
Okay. Faja is an adult. She can make up her own decisions. I mean, we very well might be married with kids soon.
Yeah, the Daniel Rosenthal I look at now should hope for his life that that doesn't happen.